so in love with you.
Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, this video is to give back to my subscribers. I've had a lot of people ask me, how do I track my local housing market? And you guys know that I have been preaching for so long about how important it is to not only track what's going around the nation. What's going around the nation is super important to track, but what is also really important to track is what is your local housing market doing, or what is the housing market doing where you want to purchase in, right? So today's video is going to be on that, you guys. This is straight to my subscribers. The algorithm is probably not even going to pick this video up, but I want to give back to you guys because I constantly get that question. So I'm going to show you how I would track my local market if I wasn't a realtor. Obviously, because I'm a realtor, I have access to MLS and things of that nature, but right now I'm not going to use any of that, and I'm going to take you through the process of exactly how you should be monitoring and tracking your housing market. Now, the number one thing when it comes to purchasing and looking for houses, being financially ready. Okay, so let's take out the buyer's market versus seller's market real quick. The number one thing that you guys need to do is, if you're a buyer, you need to be financially prepared. Okay, there's nothing more important than being financially ready to buy a house, whether it's a seller's market or whether it's a buyer's market. You need to be ready to hold and invest in one of the largest transactions of your life. So you can't treat this like it's whatever, right? You got to really treat this. You don't have to do anything, but you should treat this like it is the most important transaction of your life and like it is the biggest financial transaction of your life. So I really hope you're going to do this. Now, another thing, take notes, right? So I'm going to bring up Redfin, I'm going to bring up Zillow, and I'm going to show you guys how to track your local market. And I'm also going to bring a graph of the nation to show you where the bubble areas or overpriced areas are. So you can refer back to this video. It's going to be linked in my description as always. So just click the links, start monitoring your local housing market, take notes, right? Continue to take notes, on what is the cost per square foot? What is the high end cost per square foot? What is the low end cost per square foot? Start monitoring houses, see and track how long they've been on the market, track how long it takes them to get under contract, and also track price drops. If you guys don't have your hand to the pulse of your local housing market, you're not going to know what's going on. So regardless if you have a realtor, I'm going to act like no one has a realtor, right? Although you should. Don't be making offers on houses, in my opinion, without a realtor. Buyers don't pay realtors. You guys understand? Buyers don't pay realtors. So if you're a buyer and you're not using a realtor, you shouldn't do that, right? The seller's paying for your realtor. The seller normally offers a commission to the buyer's realtor. So you need to use, in my opinion, the best realtor, right? Don't just don't just click on the Redfin button to go tour a house and pick the first realtor. Interview realtors. I'm making a video after this on how to interview a realtor as well. But where I want to get started is I'm going to show you guys a map, because a lot of people are is my city overpriced? Is my city overpriced? So I want you to go to my description, click on the Fortune article, because they have a map and it looks like this. So if you guys are wondering, is your local housing market overvalued? Here's the map that I want you to start referencing. Okay, now look at Florida. You guys see the state of Florida? The state of Florida is probably one of the most overvalued states in the nation, but Florida is in trouble. Even Houston's on here, right? Overvalued Houston. I'm pretty bummed about that. But this map is going to give you an indication of where you may want to hold off, right? If it's normal, overvalued, obviously doesn't cover every city, but this is a good place to start right here if you want to know whether or not the city that you're purchasing in is overvalued. So reference that map. But now let's get started on Redfin and then Zillow. So I'm going to start with Redfin, and I'm going to show you guys how to start tracking your local market right now. So obviously you go to redfin.com like this. Okay, so I'm on Redfin. Okay, so this is Redfin. So everyone can go home and do this. You don't need any special licensing, but start using these resources. Go to Redfin and just simply click homes for sale. Okay, that's all you got to do. Now, this automatically hits Sugarland. So I'm just going to let's pick Irvine, California. Okay. I'm just going to hit, Irvine. Now, you put whatever city, so Irvine comes up. Now, look at this. Now here's the map. Now you have the ability to zoom out, right? Or zoom in. You can remove Irvine if you want as well. You can zoom out. You go wherever you want, right? So you could put the city up there, or you could just scroll around on the map. See that? So if I want to go to Arizona instead, here's Arizona. If I want to go to Star Valley, there's Star Valley. But you see, this map is easy, you guys. Look how easy this is. Just find where your local housing market is. Okay. Let's say it's Flagstaff. Okay. We're going to say it's Flagstaff. So here's Flagstaff. So I'm zooming in, and look, it gives me everything that's on the market right now. So say you want to live in this region right here. Okay. So here's a cluster of house. So you watch this cluster. Okay. So if this is where you want to live, if this is your area, you watch this every single day, not once a week. Wake up in the morning, go to sleep at night, and track this information. And what you do is you start remembering and taking notes. So here's a house. Let me click it, 329. Okay. So I'm going to click this house. And here's the cool thing. Here's all the property information on the house. So again, you start tracking, how many days on Redfin. Look at 18 days. This is important. This is what I want you guys to start tracking. How many days has it been on Redfin? Okay. 18 days. Do you see that? I want you to track that. The higher the days, usually the more you can negotiate. The higher the days on the market, usually the better you can negotiate. Remember that. So this is 18 days on the market. So it's not, look how small this house is. Geez, 329,000 for less than 1,000 square feet. That's rough, man. That's over $329 a square foot. So I want you to do that. Okay. How many days on Redfin? And I also want you to track the price per square foot, which is right here. Okay. So $353 a square foot, right? So those are the main things I want you to track. Okay. So price, days on the market, and per square foot. And from there, you can start making a trend. Now I'm going to go back to the map by hitting this back arrow. Okay. Now let me look at another house. Let's look at the 315 and compare that. Geez, these are small houses. Look at that. 306. Geez, look how small this house is. 315,000 for a shack. Geez, Louise, isn't that crazy, guys? Look at this. 36 days on the market. Okay. That's some room to negotiate. Y'all see? Room to negotiate. Okay. Let's see price per square foot. Oh my gosh. So this is a lot more price per square foot than that last house, 410. Now, I want to show you guys something on the Redfin real quick. Now, the payment calculator, you're going to want to be really careful with this because they don't know what the homeowner's insurance is going to be. They don't know what the property taxes is going to be, and they don't know what the mortgage insurance is going to be, nor do they list the interest rate on here that I can see. So, this payment calculator, it will give you a good idea, but just make sure you adjust it correctly. What's your down payment, right? And make sure that you're adding property tax and homeowners insurance, and understand that that's probably conservative because these are advertisements, right? They want you to click schedule tour or learn more, right? Down payment assistance program, boom. Anything you click here is designed to advertise. So be careful what you're clicking on Redfin. But that's essentially how you guys do it. Okay. You just keep looking every single day. Let me go back to search. Okay. Let me go to one more. Okay. Let's go to this 495 one. Let's see how much this is per square foot and how long it's been on the market. Look at, so that's relatively new on the market at 8 days. So there's probably not a lot of room to negotiate yet. Okay. And then the price per square foot, look, the other one was $410, I think, a square foot. This is only $291. And this is a good way, you guys, to know where you're at and where the property is at in the market, price per square foot. Now, remember what I said, appraisals don't work that way. Appraisals work based on comparable data in the same subject division and things like that. But when you're shopping for a house, price per square foot could be a good way to see whether or not that home is overpriced. But in essence, guys, you saw how I did it. I went to Redfin, I went to buy, I started using the map, I started really understanding my local market. Some prices were at $410 a square foot, some were at $290 a square foot, but we need to start drawing a conclusion from there. Let's go to Zillow right now. I'm going to show you how Zillow works. Let's check it out. Okay, I'm on Zillow's homepage, right? This is so easy, right? I'm on Zillow's homepage. Let's hit buy. Okay. Look at automatic map. You guys see how easy this is? Okay. No one has an excuse not to monitor their local market. Look how easy this is. Where do I live? Where do I want to buy? Right. Let's go somewhere a little bit more cheaper. I want to go to Wyoming. So I'm going to click Wyoming. Let's say I'm interested in buying. Oh my gosh. I was going to say Jeffrey City, but there's only 2 listings. Let's say I want to buy over here, Boulder Flats. Okay, so I want to buy in Boulder Flats. Actually, there's more here. I want to buy in Lander. So I'm going to be watching. Look how cheap this house is. Woo! That's actually looks like just land. So if I want to live in this area, I'm watching this area every day, right? So I'm going to click on each one of these, and this is how Zillow works. So Zillow, okay. Let me show you. So I clicked it and immediately I have pictures and it has the description of the property up here, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1,624 square foot. Don't hit these buttons. If you hit these buttons, it's going to advertise to you. Remember that. And this estimated payment, do not go off of that estimated payment as well. Work with a loan officer. So you guys need to be working with loan officers to get real numbers, not advertising numbers, right? So work with the loan officer. You know what I mean? Okay, so here's where I want you to go. So once you find the property, make note of how many square foot, but then go down here to facts and features. And it's going to pull up, and this, you can use this here also to slide down, but it's going to pull up again your price per square foot. Okay, that's under facts and features. So definitely pay note of what it is price per square foot and just keep that pattern. So I exit out of here. Let me click the next one, the 649. That's just raw land. Okay, let's click this one, 445. I'm going to hit facts and features. This one is $161 a square foot. So it's much cheaper price per square foot. And again, you guys, that's a really good way to get a baseline of what's going on in the market. If the price per square foot starts going down on listings, your housing market's cooling down. So I want you guys to start using Redfin. I want you guys to start using Zillow. And when you see price drops, when you see homes on the market long, the cool down is finally hitting your metro area. Now, unfortunately, as you saw on that overvalued map, Florida and places like that, almost every coastal city in Florida, it's going to lag behind the rest of the nation as far as the cool down. And that is especially why you guys need to start monitoring your local markets. And the reality is, as far as realtor, there's a lot of dishonest realtors. There's a lot of realtors that are just, chasing a paycheck. And I know that because I've been doing this 2 decades and I can clearly see it. It's very clear for me. And that is why I'm making this video, because you need to also empower yourself. When you're ready to buy, obviously be pre-qualified so you know what your payment's going to be. Work with your loan officer. But when you're ready to buy, use the best realtor. Use a realtor that you've interviewed. And one of the questions I want you guys to ask these realtors is there going to be a housing market crash? Okay. I want you to see what the response is. And then I want you to ask this: how would you define a crash? Right. I've heard realtors say there's not going to be a crash, so I don't talk about it. And then I ask them to define it, and they define it as a 30% or 40% drop. So I'm like, okay, so you're not warning your clients about a 20% drop in equity? Are you out of your mind? You're a licensed professional and you're not saying that. So make sure to interview realtors, because this is a large transaction and you need to work with the best people possible. But I hope that helps you guys. There's really not a lot to it. You just got to put in the time. You got to put in an effort and keep taking notes and keep watching prices drop. Now, I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you're out there investing in real estate, I do wish you luck and I hope you win.